actually are going to travel down below the surface of the water, not surface of the earth. We don't have like a time machine or whatever, but surface of the water for sure. There's a whole wide world down underneath the water, even right here, Lake Murray, rivers and things. Andy Ogburn from Wateree Dive Center. First of all, thank you, my brother. Man, I love it. I used to dive. I did a long time ago. Spent a lot of time underwater. Haven't for a long time, so I'm excited to kind of get back into the sport. But it is such a cool thing.
Well, we're going to do that today up to Lake Murray, and we'll get you back into it and have you kicking and blowing bubbles like a fish.
Just like that. Do they blow bubbles? I don't even know. No, the cool thing about diving too is it's not that expensive to get into. You know, and anybody can do it. You can be any age. You know, for the most part, any age. You know, gender doesn't matter. It's easy.
Yeah, it's really for anybody age 15 or below.
Okay.
You can get a junior rating. We have grandparents diving with us, so everything in the middle. It's a great family activity.
Right. What are the difference? And we've heard of PADI and of course SSI. What is the difference between? Because some people are certified, have been certified a long time ago. What does that all matter?
The training agency is like a brand. It's like Coke or Pepsi, and like I say, it's one flavor versus the next.
Sure, but it's basically the same thing. Coke or Pepsi is going to quench your thirst.
Bingo.
So,
and, what you need to look for is good quality instruction,
right?
Experienced staff and instructors.
All right.
And just having a good time, being safe.
So today on Tyler's Travels, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go through some of the training so you get an idea of what the training course is like. And it's relatively short. It's a few days. Get you certified, get you all geared up, and then we're going to hit the lake, right? We're going to actually go down and take a little spin underneath Lake Murray.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that is great stuff. We are traveling today on Tyler's Travels, traveling down a few feet here at Wateree Dive Center on St. Andrews Road, and we're going to get wet and just kind of explore diving. Such a cool thing. I'm really excited about today. So stick around. We're going to put links for you, too, at watch.com over to the Dive Center and diving in general. Stay with us. Ready? Janet, come on. Let's take a swim. All right, guys, so this morning here at Tyler's Travels, we're at Wateree Dive Center, St. Andrews Road, getting ready to get wet, as they say in the diving biz.
Or go under.
Or go under. There you go. But, of course, like anything else, you've got to be trained. It's a sport, and it's very safe, but you need to know what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to, like anything, you got a little bit of risk, but that's what we try to do in our class.
Okay.
Generally, folks will come in and get signed up for a course. We'll do a little bit of home study with the book and DVD.
Sure.
Or computer. Come into the classroom with our dive pros, review everything, make sure you're good to go. Get to the pool, start doing your basic skills.
Right.
And after a couple of weekends, generally you're qualified and ready to go out to Lake Murray or somewhere else for our certification dives.
See that? You get certified and you go diving. So the class itself, it's how many hours?
The whole study program's about 40 hours.
Okay, that's actually not bad.
A couple of weekends.
And it's home study too, then?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And so you get, obviously the manual, you got to learn how to dive right here. You got a fancy DVD. But you do dive in the pool.
Yeah, we do a couple of days in the pool.
And what's that for? Is that to kind of get used? Because I know when you'll see in a little bit if you haven't, dove or scuba dive before. Anyway, I mean, you've got the mask on, you've got the breather, so it is a bit awkward if you're claustrophobic, right?
It can be for some people. Like I say, you have to adjust to getting underwater, and that's why we start in the pool in a controlled environment. And it's like anything. You start with the basics,
right.
You build on them, and then you keep building on the skills that we've learned prior.
Sure.
And then once we get to open water and you're ready, it's the same process. We back up to the basic skills and just build on them over a couple of days in real world diving conditions.
There you go. Actually, underwater in Lake Murray.
Underwater, yeah, exactly, yeah, underwater. And then, like I said, once you're certified and you're out and ready to dive, it's kind of like your license to learn. You need to get out there and you're going to become a real diver or a better diver by going out scuba diving.
Sure. Practice makes perfect in any kind of sport.
Bingo.
For sure.
Muscle memory.
And this morning we're going to talk about some of those things, buddy. Make sure your buddy's with you and some of the other things as we actually are going to go down and take a little trip underwater today, which is going to be a whole lot of fun. But it really is the basics are here. It's an easy. And what's a ballpark cost of a course? The general deal.
Currently our courses are $395, and that excludes everything through certification.
Right.
Additional expenses would be your basic equipment if you don't have that.
Sure.
Any travels to any dive sites we go. Sometimes we go to Florida, like in the winter months. We go in the Crystal River with the manatee.
But if somebody, so if I walked in and said, man, I just want to get certified, so you're talking under $1,000 would get you in the sport easy. If you get class, you get fins and a mask.
Oh, absolutely.
And once you're certified forever. You want to stay proficient, but it's a certification.
You're certified for life. It's definitely just like anything. You want to stay proficient with your skills. We have a lot of people come in that haven't been into water in like a year or two.
Just like me. I mean, I'm going to refresh.
What we're doing is a little scuba skills update, and just get you back in the groove.
Just
and like I say, it's sort of like riding a bicycle. You get back into it. It kind of comes back to you.
Once you can breathe and swim, you'd be good to go.
You got to remember to breathe and not hold your breath. You hear that once or twice.
Andy Ogburn from Wateree Dive Center. Going to learn how to dive today. A cool sport. Going to check this thing out if you have not done this. It's a really, really neat sport. So we're going to get into that today. And up next in a little while, we're going to talk about the gear and things you need to get into it. And then finally, yes, we're going to go to the lake today. It's a Tyler's Travels straight down, so to speak, with some bubbles. Back to you guys. All right, guys, so this morning here on Tyler's Travels, we're talking about traveling under the water, you know, instead of like traveling that way on a boat, which is a lot of fun. And up there in a plane, we're going to go down under the water. Andy Ogren from Wateree Dive Center was talking about the certification process. It's a family sport. It's not that cost prohibitive to get into, but there is a cost. You got to get certified, and you need some gear.
Yeah.
You got to be safe. Unless you can hold your breath for a really long time.
And that's another sport all in itself.
As
far as the basic equipment someone needs, you got mask, fins, and snorkel. Mask is probably the one most important piece of gear, because if it doesn't fit you properly, it's going to leak, it's going to be uncomfortable, and you're not going to enjoy your diving.
Sure, okay.
We like to make sure our students have a good fitting mask. The snorkels we use for surface swimming and fun activities between dives. It's, like I say, it's a whole different sport in itself. So snorkeling pre-diving is pretty cool. Swim fins, you got all this equipment on, so you need to be able to kick.
You got to be able to swim, right? Yeah, exactly.
So we got you hooked up this morning with some cool jet fins.
Okay.
And then as far as your total dive system, obviously you have a tank on your back.
Right.
That's your gas supply. A lot of divers use nitrox nowadays, so that's a little easier to use in the old days, but gives you a little bit more bottom time, and it's
so you can stand on just a little bit longer.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, and of course the wetsuit as well. Let's look at some of the stuff over here. So you see kind of this is how the rig looks when it's done. But talking about your fins, you've got all these different kinds. You got the original kind here. This pink, isn't that nice? That's really cute there. And this is the old standby for fins, right? What is the difference? What does this thing really do?
These are the Scuba Pro Jet fins. They've been around since I think 1965. And they're still the professional's choice.
Right. And what makes them so good? How do they work?
They're just rugged. They're solid fins. They give you a lot of propulsion for your effort, and like I say, it really help you in your buoyancy control and your fin pivots, and you're just fine tuning your movements in the water.
Okay. And of course, you want to get a watch and other accoutrements, as it were. Let's go over here by the wetsuits and take a look at what's a proper fit for wetsuits and things like that, Andy.
Wetsuits you want to fit pretty comfortably. Again, not too tight, not too loose. They are different thicknesses for the different water temperatures.
Okay.
Most folks around here will go with a 3mm suit for summertime diving or Bahama diving, Caribbean diving.
Okay.
Nowadays they're all stretchier materials, so they fit a lot better, a lot more easier to get on.
And they'll suck and make you look good too. If you need to go to the
absolutely.
Just saying, you can save on the sit-ups. And of course, you need your rig here. This is the BC. This is actually what is the brains almost of the dive, right?
Yeah, that's what holds your whole scuba system together. The tank goes on the back. Regulators come over your shoulders. This is a Zuma Travel BC. It's lightweight, really streamlined for good warm Caribbean type diving.
Right. So
very comfortable jacket.
So if you want to get into it, you really can just get the snorkeling gear, and you can rent everything else. Most dive shops, anywhere you go, you can buy this as well. Like I said, it's it's not cost prohibitive. It's easy to get into, easy to get certified, and you can do this, and you'll be down diving. So.
And like I said, you get good equipment, it'll last you a lifetime.
There you go. All right. So let's see. We've talked about the training. We've talked about why it's awesome. We've talked about the gear. Is it time to go get in the water?
Pretty close, man. Pretty close.
Oh, I love it. Guys, stay with us this morning. We are going to go diving here with Wateree Dive Center on St. Andrews Road. Although we're not going to dive on St. Andrews. We're gonna head to Lake Murray to go underwater, because unless there's a mud puddle out there, I'm not doing a lot of diving on St.
Got a water hose out back.
Oh, good. Slip and slide too. Stay with us. All right, guys, so we have been getting ready to travel to the lake, talking about Tyler's Travels and going down and getting under the water. We just came from Wateree Dive Shop, got geared up, learned about some of the safety things, and of course, scuba, just a fun, safe sport, I think. And it's for all ages, and of course, boys and girls as well. Miss Morgan Wilson. So you're a diver.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I started off as a diver while I was in college, and I just fell in love with it. As you said, girls can do it, guys can do it, everybody can do it, and worked my way up to an instructor.
Well, so you're like a teacher.
Yep, I'm a teacher.
See that, fellas? I'm just going to throw that out there. There you go. How many dives have you been on?
At least probably 900 to 1,000 dives.
Holy moly! Yeah. All right, so let's go through real quick. Get all the gear laid up. What do we got? Andy's, I know, has got it kind of laid out. Kind of run through real quick everything we have.
Yeah, we have wetsuits and masks and booties in there.
Right.
And got a little GoPro in there. We have a dive flag located on the left side of the
Very important piece, right?
Very important piece. It allows divers and other boats to know that we are diving right there. So
sure.
Stay away. Make sure we're nice and
safe. Stay away,
safe.
the divers. Morgan's here. Stay away. All right, and then of course we got tanks.
Right.
One tank per person.
One tank per person.
Okay.
This one's a little bit smaller. This is for people that, a little bit more petite, such as kids, for instance. You have your BCD.
Sure.
Regulators to breathe off of. Lots of divers do have knives as a tool to use for fishing line.
Right.
To bang on the back of their tank to grab somebody's attention. They've seen something cool. And then we also have our weight bags, which allows us to go underwater.
So we can sink a little bit.
We can sink a little bit, stay on the bottom.
Humans are rather buoyant, as it turns out. It turns out. All right, it's a little windy today. We're going to go down and hopefully see some cool things. We're going to bring you along as well. well. But really the cool thing about diving, we're talking about on a morning, is it's not an expensive sport. There's a few upfront costs.
Right.
But once you're done, you're certified forever. You just got to do it, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And you can dive anywhere you want. Go on vacation on Costa Rica or
Exactly.
Lake Murray. Have you ever seen a catfish like 9,000 feet long, by the way?
I've seen some big catfish in here. Maybe the snapping turtles do that.
Does it
big.
scare you a little bit?
No, they're actually
They don't
really
scare
cool.
you?
Nope. No.
Well, they're going to
more
scare
scared
me.
of
I'll
us.
tell you right now. If you and I see one down there, I will be up here in the van in about 35 seconds. All right, we're going to get geared up. We're going down. We're going to explore the traveling underneath the water here on Lake Murray on a very windy day. But this is so cool. Andy, you ready? Give thumbs up. We about ready?
We're getting there, man.
We're getting there. We're going to down and experience this. You're going to come along with us. We'll put links for it at watch.com. And of course, Wateree Dive Center is our friends here who are taking us down for a little trip. So stay with us. We're going to come back here from Lake Murray. All right, so I got my wetsuit on, I got my booties on. Morgan from Wateree Dive Center. All right, so we saw this in the store a while ago, but we've got the tank attached to it. How does this whole thing work? It allows me to breathe underwater.
Okay, so basically what it's going to be, you have your BCD, your buoyancy compensator device,
Okay.
which basically just fits on like a vest, feels
Right.
just like a jacket. You have your regulators right here. You have your primary, and then you have your secondary. Primary is the one that you are going to be breathing off
Right.
of. It's a little bit shorter of a hose. And then you have your alternate air source, also known as your octopus, a little bit longer to share with your buddy.
That's if my buddy runs out of air or something, I can give him
Exactly.
some of my tank to keep
When
him
your
safe.
buddy's not done a good job, that
Okay.
you have to share your air with him.
Sure.
You also have your inflator hose. This allows you to have some air into your BCD.
Okay.
It brings the air from the tank into your BCD to allow you to float a little bit to achieve that neutral buoyancy.
Okay.
If you do have too much air in your BCD or you're at the surface, obviously wanting to float, that you press your deflator button down. It's going to allow you
Right.
to descend down to the
And
bottom.
these things are weighted up too. We've got some weights
Yep.
all ready to go in here
Yeah.
as well. So.
Yep.
Okay.
So next thing, you have your submersible pressure gauge. This allows you to see how much air you have during your dive to make
That's
sure.
important?
It's very important. You don't want to run out of air. You don't want to have to come up to your buddy and owe him something later
Right.
for sharing air with you. So you have that. And then a lot of times divers do have computers similar to this one right here.
Sure, and
this
that's
is
just
the
gonna hold
Sunto
your-
Zoop.
It's
Yep.
going to give you your depth and all that good stuff as
Exactly.
well.
Yep.
You turn your air on, and so basically I can go ahead and throw this puppy on, right?
Exactly.
All right, here we go. Oh gosh, this is
I'll
gonna
help.
hurt a little bit. Yeah, you better help.
Okay.
Let the girl help me with my big stuff here. All right. Throw that on. Arm in there. I'm all jacked up, Morgan. He's not even underwater yet. I'm all jacked up. All right, there we go. Man, I feel like James Bond already. This is awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna go down. Of course, it's a family sport. Diving is so cool, and really excited to share this morning. But it's a family affair. Look up there. How old are you, by the way? Yeah, she's gonna go down with us as well. So bring the whole family. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna get wet here in Lake Murray as we travel down under the water. This is gonna be a lot of fun. We're going down, getting wet, as they say. Stay with us. We're coming back. Well, after a quick classroom refresher and getting all the gear, the wetsuit to keep me warm, the buoyancy control device, or BCD, to help me float and sink, and of course the mask, snorkel, and fins, it was time for me and my dive buddy Morgan to get into the water. Although Lake Murray isn't necessarily known for its crystal clear visibility, I was told there was some really good viewing a little deeper down. And although the rough wind stirred up the bottom even at 20 feet below the surface, it was still a really awesome experience. It's really hard to describe it. Once you get used to the initial breathing system and overcome the initial apprehension to the low visibility, it's like being on another planet. There is seemingly no end to what you can find just a few feet under the surface of the water. There's plenty of life between fish and plants. There is, of course, debris from storms from years past, and once in a while, you come across something that's just awesome. Like this, the area known as the Angels. So for the cost of the initial class that you have to take once in a lifetime and the basic gear that will last forever as long as you take care of it, diving is something that not enough people experience. But then again, maybe that's a good thing. You see, it's quiet down there. No malfunction junction, no checkout lines, and you almost never see a snobby waitress. Well, our dive got cut just a little short because of the storm making its way across the lake. It wasn't the rain, mind you, as we were already soaking wet, but lightning and diving do not go hand in hand. Well, all in all, it was an amazing afternoon that I highly recommend you try at least just once. Call Andy and Morgan. They'll take care of you. As for me, I think I'm still getting lake water out of my nose.